You are live. Have some music. Hello, welcome to Integrity Live. Today we are talking to Ashleigh Harley, and we heard a bit of music there. How are you doing, Ashleigh?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you, Robert?
I'm very, very good, thanks. Thanks for asking. It's good to have you on the show today. One of my most favourite people that I've ever met, so it's really cool. That's good.
Aww.
Oh, and we've got live comments. Who's Suzanne Davies? Never heard of her. Have you?
You have heard of Suzanne Davis. She's my mum.
Hello.
Hi, Mum.
Georgia Anderson.
Hey, Georgia.
That's nice. Oh, there's a lot of people coming on at the moment.
Hey,
Right. So who? Can you see the messages?
I can. I just clicked on the little comments. I can see them.
Oh, excellent! Because we don't even see it. That's excellent. So, who is Ashleigh Harley?
So, Ashleigh Harley is the person you see before you. I'm a filmmaker and a musician. I'm currently working with an Oscar-winning team to make a film called The Dark Horse, and that is about raising awareness of invisible illnesses and making a pathway for other young people who are sick, chronically ill, and sort of terminally ill to have a better future and know that whatever illness you have, it's not the end. You can still live a fulfilling life. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and also I'm a musician too. And you just heard a little bit of music, and that's kind of quite an old style of music for me. I'm on a new album.
How old was that last song we played at the beginning?
Oh my gosh, that's got to be about 2 years old, I think, maybe a year and a half, 2 years old. The style has definitely changed.
Absolutely. Right now, you've got a slight condition.
I don't want to know who you are, Robert.
Hey?
Antasia wants to know who you are.
Who does? I know, bless.
Robert is first met. Should we say how we first met, Robert?
Well, we can do, yes. Let me just put this hat on. This might give you a clue. Look what it says on the hat. No photographs, please.
Yeah.
Well, that's my hat. Well, I was in I was in Cairns with Aaliyah, my best friend and the owner of Integrity magazine, and we was going to do a shoot on the beach with this metal outfit that he designed. And I don't think Aaliyah really wanted to wear it, but she would do it because she's that. And suddenly Aaliyah went, there's Ashleigh. And I looked around, there was this incredibly beautiful girl. And before I could actually fix my eyes on her to say hello, Aaliyah had grabbed her, took her into this back room and got her changed. And then she went and did this shoot. And that was you, Ashleigh, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the most amazing way to meet Robert. And there we go. There's the front of the calendar we did. And it was the most amazing experience. I had not expected to walk into the tent to be 5 minutes later be walking down the beach in like a metal bikini. It was quite a shock, but it was so much fun. So much fun.
It was one of my nicest photography assignments I've done because I didn't have to do any work. Aaliyah did all the directing, but I didn't have to tell you anything, so it was really fabulous. And you was great.
You're wonderfully talented photographer, Robert.
Thank you.
You're a really great photographer.
Thank you. We've met a few times since then. It's been absolutely superb. So my hat's all right with my label on it.
It's actually like the hat I was wearing on the day.
Yeah. It said no photography. And you got a lot of looks from that, didn't you?
Yeah, we did get quite a lot of attention. There was one day when I was walking down, it was in front of the red carpet. What's that bit at Cannes when you got the long red carpet? I can't remember what it's called. The paparazzi came up to me and they said, like, why don't you want your photograph taken? And I was like, hat. You can still take my photograph, it's fine.
No, but you looked absolutely beautiful, so it was fabulous to do that. May we talk about your condition? Yes, because this leads up to your film. Although you've got a condition which you're going to obviously tell us about now, but you are a superwoman. I can't believe you do so much. It's incredible. So, how is your condition affecting you at the moment?
So at the moment, it affects me on quite a few different ways. It affects my lung function at the moment, which seems to be quite a big issue. Um, but on a daily basis, it also affects my ability to eat. Today, I've been struggling a lot with blindness, which is an intimate issue I have with seizures and loss of consciousness. Basically, it's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a connective tissue disorder which affects all the organs and connective tissue in your body. So it's a little bit different in every case, and in my case, still exploring the whole remit of what's going on. But since it started affecting me more and more as I get older, it's made me believe that it doesn't matter what kind of challenges you have in your life, you can still have a very fulfilling life. And such as today, I've been very ill today, and I was ill all night too. I really wanted to do this interview with you, Robert, because I really sort of wanted to make a point and actually do what I believe in, that just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean you can't turn it into a really good day.
Absolutely. It's a good saying, very good saying. And is this condition, is it inspired you to write the Dark Horse film?
Yeah, well, The Dark Horse is a documentary, so it's definitely been a film that's sort of unraveled as we've gone along. And it's gone into a way that I could have never imagined in a million years. As it started out when I was diagnosed with my illness, and I thought, you know what, let's just make a film to, one, sort of liberate people with invisible illnesses so they know that they're not alone, and to, secondly, kind of document getting back into show jumping again, to ride and sort of actually live a physical and active life. And at that point, it sort of snowballed way beyond my wildest expectations. We ended up getting the Paralympics involved, and now we've got an Oscar-winning team helping us finish the film, and that I could never have imagined in a million years.
Absolutely. But because you've mentioned that the Paralympics and that, isn't it true you rode the late great Tim Stockdale's horse?
Yeah, I've ridden. Wow. I've been riding him in the film, and he is the most sensational horse. He won the King George V Grand Prix Gold Cup, so he's a bit of a legend as a show jumper himself. And I know he's very treasured, part of the family for the Stockdale family, and having him in the film has been absolutely incredible.
Brilliant. That's really cool. That is, yeah. Oh, you got a lot of people watching you, Ashleigh, and messaging you, which is really nice to see. So,
guys, yeah. It's great to see you all.
Somebody asked, how can I get a copy of the Integrity magazine? Well, you can go to the link on Integrity magazine page, and you'll see there. We will put a link up after this when it goes on YouTube. So, Anastasia, you can see the link there, and we'll sort that out for you. That's nice of people to ask that. It's great.
Yeah.
So how's the film going anyway? Because has COVID affected a few things, or are you back in this? No joke, back in the saddle now.
Well, back in the saddle, definitely back in the saddle. Okay. But what hasn't COVID affected? I think all of us have been affected in some way by the pandemic. I think it'd be, who hasn't? I just think it'd be crazy to think nobody has gone through this and not been affected in some way. So we had to stall the few months, and now we're back. We've just finished our last production day, and we've got about 3 to 4 more days that are coming up in September, and then we're aiming to lock the edit and around about ready for the film to be finished in November. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this isn't your first film, though, is it?
No, it's not my first film at all. And did you see The Waterfly on, Robert?
I can't remember. But I think you pointing to it with your hat on.
So yeah, my last film, The Waterfly, that went on to win quite a few awards on the film festival circuit, and that was, I suppose, totally different from my current film, The Dark Horse. It was a fantasy film about like Vikings and dragons, and it was like Game of Thrones but without the rudeness.
Absolutely. I love Vikings. I'm into all the Norse mythology, so I would have to watch it. Yeah.
I'm into my mythology too.
Too, yes. Let me ask you a quick question. Can I ask you about Slick Films? What is all
What do you
that
want
about?
to know? I mean that's the Slick Films are the Oscar-winning production
Ah,
company who came
right.
on board. So they're the Oscar winners now helping me make the Dark Horse film. And they are such wonderful people. They are really making a big difference in the industry to try and help the representation of both sick people and disabilities. They've already made a huge difference with their last film, The Silent Child, which won the Oscar. And I know quite a few people know that film. It was huge. And they've been wonderfully supportive throughout this whole process. So, what do you want to know, Robert?
Brilliant. No, how did you get involved with them? How did they approach you, or did you go after them? I mean, how did that happen? Because it's great that they're involved. Absolutely fabulous.
Well, to be honest, like it just kind of happened. Like I couldn't, I don't know. It just sort of happened, Robert. It was one of those things that um, one thing came to another. You know, when you get like a series of events, and it just sort of they just came together in a perfect way. I couldn't tell you like specifically how it happened. It just did, and I'm so grateful that it did.
Like being in the right place at the right time, and it just happened.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way of describing it.
Well, a lot of people know you for your films, but I also know you for your singing abilities. Well, we saw one of the old songs earlier. You've been doing a lot of singing when with all this going on with the COVID, etc. Oh, look at that! Is that advert on that?
Promo.
Yes, do I promo it? Yes. Yes, we all look out for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because while you've been quiet, or you've been writing music as well, haven't you?
Yeah, when in the middle of the pandemic is when I had my lung function drop, and at that point, I was given the option either to go into hospital and be on the COVID ward, or to receive treatment at home, which I couldn't get full treatment. I could only get so much treatment at home, and I basically knew that if I was going to end up on a COVID ward with only 50% working lungs, that I was going to die. I was going to die if I ended up in hospital. And I faced the fact that also I stayed at home. The prospect was also not looking good. So I was lying in bed and struggling to breathe and having to really fight for my life. And I had to find a way to fight for my life. And the way I did it was to write a song. And every day I tried to muster up a whisper, a song singing, and then it could be a word, then it was a sentence, and then it was a song. And that was what I created, was the Worlds Apart song, which we then online all came together to sing, which I've seen Georgia in the comments too, who came along to the concert and sung with us. And that was my first song I'd written since Judge Me, and now I'm working on the full Dark Horse album because it made me realize that music can save a person's life, and if it saved my life, then it can save someone else's life too.
Absolutely. Well, music is a great healer in many, many aspects. I mean, I've been through losing my mum and my dad, and it's always been music that's got me there. It always is. And we've had music all our lives, so you carry on with that. That's brilliant, and keep on. Do you enjoy doing the music then?
I do. It wasn't actually until I was lying in bed in a really, really terrible state that something came over me, and it completely changed my whole life. I've never really been able to play guitar or sing very well before then. It just something happened. I couldn't really explain it to you, Robert. I had to fight for my life, and it changed my life. And that kind of what it made me realize that I've got to do something about this whole issue around people living with illness not knowing their potential. And it needs to put in music because that's the way it can get there, get to the people who need it.
Well, you are a fighter, and I always call you my superwoman, and you are absolutely brilliant. Yes. Let me ask. Something else going to ask you. Feel Good Festival and Big Sing. Is that what we've spoken about just now?
Oh
Or is that
yes,
something else coming out?
no, that's something completely different. What I just spoke about was something that happened before. This upcoming project with Feel Good Festival is in October. I'll be doing another live virtual concert. So one of those big online things where we all come together and sing worlds apart. And the plan is to make it bigger and better than more people, more countries. That idea, and we're doing that with the Roses Theatre. And I've got a link, and Eventbrite tickets, which are completely free. Anybody can come along. Everybody is welcome. And the whole point of it is for us all to come together and make something of the hardest parts of our life. And that the tickets for that are in my description on all my social media channels, and I will be putting the links out as we get closer to the date. Before that, I'll also be doing a little workshop to teach you all how to sing and play worlds apart, and also teaching you to play guitar and all that sort of stuff too. So yeah, that's what we've got going on there.
Brilliant. That is excellent. You're so busy.
Oh,
do you ever sleep?
No, I don't sleep. I don't.
Bless them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, my parents are terrible. They're always like, "Ashleigh, did you sleep last night?" And I'm like, "No, I've been down here working most of the night." But to be honest, it's really worth it, and I believe the difference that we're going to make with the film, with the music, is going to be worth it, because I know that there's that person out there who was like me when I was growing up, who is suffering with illness and can't go to school, is being bullied, has no prospects for a future. I know that person's out there, and they need to know that it's still possible to have a really great fulfilling life. And I'm determined to reach them.
Because there is still people out there that will not talk up, will do suffer, and for you to get to them, that'd be brilliant, because they do need help. And anybody that's watching this that does suffer, please don't just suffer on your own. Talk to someone. Even come on. Well, Ashley wouldn't mind you messaging her or sending her a message.
No, not at all.
You know, you guys don't bottle it up. Don't hide from it. You know, it's one of the things that goes on, and you've really got to reach out to someone. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm definitely here if anybody needs someone, just to know that they're not alone.
And speak to someone that's been through it as well. And you know, please, everybody, speak up, help yourselves. And also, I understand you're a newly appointed ambassador for the EDS charity.
Yes, Body EDs. We're a new charity who are helping people who have the same illness as me, all different types of EDS. And their particular focus is getting people an early diagnosis so they can avoid, hopefully, the potentially very serious consequences of EDS. And they can help potentially find financial support and medical care and all sorts of things. And they are amazing. They're doing some really great work, and I'm really proud to be an ambassador for them. So any EDS sufferers among you, then head over to Mind Body EDS and see if you need help. Then they might be able to help you.
That's brilliant. We are going to lobby the government, by the way, to have a 25-hour day and an 8-day a week just for you.
I think we need it. So we're going to be the sun as well, so we don't have to. We can rotate the sun a little bit slower or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we did say earlier we're going to clone you so that you can have one of you working and one of you going to sleep. You know.
Yeah, I said I needed a twin. Definitely need a
twin. With this pandemic that's going on, we're hoping, let's fingers crossed, it ends soon, so we can all get back to doing what we want to do, you know, as much as we can. So let's say the pandemic's gone, everything's okay. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 6, 7 years' time? Or where would you like to see yourself? I know it's a tough question, but...
Wow, that's a tough question. Well, I mean, like in an ideal situation, like the dream, or okay, yeah, I think the dream would be to be making like a big film that would be an imperfect superhero film would be kind of the dream. One, like, you see the big blockbusters, but one where it's not like a perfect hero that's perfect to look at, has wonderful health, and has everything that they want. A very imperfect character who is sick, going and being a hero because of their illness or their disability, not in spite of it. And that would be my dream. I mean, in 5 years' time, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, maybe if we do extend this 8 weekday 24 hours thing, it might be possible. But that would be the dream, would be to make a film that makes a difference in the world, a proper, like, real difference in people's lives. Yeah.
Well, it is true. When you see all these films, all the heroes are all perfect people, aren't they?
I know.
Yeah.
No, I think it has a really bad effect on people too. I think it makes people come away and feel like, oh, I don't look like them. I'm never going to be the person I want to be. And it's absolute rubbish. It's just nonsense. I was thinking quite a good example was Avatar, was because the guy was disabled, and like the film was held up because it was representing disability, but the character's relationship with his disability was that he wanted to get rid of it, and that he couldn't have a fulfilling life until he got rid of it. And I remember when I came out of that cinema when I was little, and I felt like I couldn't live a fulfilling life until I got rid of my illness. And years down the line now, I know that that's just not true, and someone needs to make a film where there's a character who goes on and lives a fulfilling life with their problem, not having gotten rid of it.
Well, you better get your pen to paper or your keyboard working on your new script.
I know. I better. Stop talking about it. Stop doing it.
No. Have you seen some great comments here? Look, Georgina Anderson. I have EDS and it's such a struggle every day. If Ashley can do it, so can I. I look up to you so much. Beautiful comment.
You definitely can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see people getting involved, etc. Well, anything else you want to talk to me about? Anything you want to say? Because you've been so brilliant at what you do, and I don't know to where you at, but listen to your mum. You're like a human dynamo anyway. You don't stop.
No, I don't stop. I mean, I don't really know what I talk about. I think generally I sort of work behind the scenes quite a lot. I do work from crazy hours. Just a couple of days ago, I was preparing all the editing log files ready for the film to be transferred, and that was literally like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. for 4 days straight. And I mean, you probably know what it's like working to get something you're like really passionate with a project done. But yeah.
So yeah, and also well done for some of your articles. Integrity magazine. I think you've got a new one. You've got one coming out, and then is the next issue? You in the next issue of Integrity magazine?
I know I think I'm in. Yeah, this next one. I think I'm not entirely sure. I've lost track, to be honest. I'm living in like a Hollywood world.
It's so funny. It's good. And I've never got rid of my calendar, so I always keep that.
I still have mine as well.
That's good.
Like, I remember when I saw that. I think it was Christmas Day when I saw it for the first time. I was totally overwhelmed. Really overwhelmed that you did that.
I had to do it. It was a fabulous day. Aaliyah's been absolutely brilliant with all the things. I mean, she's always a supporter of you as well, and it's always good. And you've been to a few of our shows and even walked when you haven't even been well. You did walk the carpet, which is
of course. I remember walking that carpet. That was amazing. I mean, that's my only experience ever walking a carpet, and that was magical because I never thought someone like me could get the opportunity to do that. That was very much when I thought that I had to cover up my illness and I had to cover up any problems because I've been probably watching too much TV, taking maybe the movies too seriously, that you need to be a certain way. And I think that kind of outlook on life can be quite damaging after a while. If you keep covering up, you can start hurting yourself. But that was such a magical day. I'll never forget coming home because we'd done the catwalk, and I remember being so tired by the end of the day that my dad had to carry me back to the car. But I remember feeling so happy that I'd gotten to be a part of your show. It was just a magical experience.
And I was also lucky when I went to the film premiere 11, you turned up there, and firstly I said, I need to take some photos of you. And straight away, up on the steps in the red dress.
Yeah, so, I remember that day. That was a great day.
I think that was the last time I saw you, which is quite sad.
Yeah.
Again soon.
Yeah, when the pandemic's over, we'll sort something out. We need more shows.
In that case, you owe me one more shoot, you see.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
I don't want to keep you for too long because I really appreciate you giving us some of your time and you not being well today. But I have one last question for you.
Oh, okay. Ready for
we are called Integrity. So what does integrity mean to Ashleigh Harley?
Oh my gosh, what does integrity mean to me?
See, Mum, I can keep her quiet.
Oh yeah, she does shut up sometimes. I think for me, integrity means not being afraid to stand up to speak, even when you're afraid. Particularly if there's something you've been through that's really challenging in your life, you've got to stand up and speak.
Absolutely. Well said. By the way, there's quite a few people, Julie Bloom, Julie of saying the idea of a superhero that's not perfect is a great idea.
Oh, so wow.
So yeah, some great comments.
I'm so determined to do that in a film because we've got too many perfect heroes. Too many.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, all I'm going to say is everybody that's watched and commented, thank you very much. Ashleigh, thank you for your time. Thank Mum and Dad because they've always been great supporters of you, and I love meeting up with them. They're fabulous people. And thank you for being part of Integrity. Really do.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great once again.
It's been a pleasure. Listen, you take care of yourself. Get well soon, right? Get well, and you've got 25 hours a day, 8 days a week to get that work done.
Yep. Okay. It'll happen. Thanks so much.
Take care of yourself. All the best.
Bye. And you too, Rob. Bye-bye.